was going to run much better than the debut. He ran well in the debut. He ran well here. And this horse, I mean, Al's Rocket did everything, really, except win here. Now, going to lug in a little bit. And you don't love seeing that, but this horse was going from 6.5 to 8.5 for the first time. And, you know, had every right to maybe, I don't want to say get a little tired because he finished on nicely. Man, if he runs that last race, Greg, and one of these firsters don't come with a big effort first time out, and I don't really see a ton of turf pedigree with these firsters. You know that they're not really win early barns. I got to think this horse, a repeat of this horse's last effort, is going to get him in the winner's circle today. Yeah,
that was 73 buyer for the debut. Next door Ansel is a little interesting. That horse faced Side Dog, who would go on to win the Central Park next time out. It's 2 for 2 in the grass. Faced Kiss the Sky, who was second in the Kentucky Downs Juvenile Mile. Won by Tiz the Bomb for McPeak. So he was going to try in the dirt in the Kentucky Jockey Club. Unfortunately, had to scratch. That interesting. There's a little pedigree with a one. The Dam produced Moral Reasoning, who was stakes placed on the turf. And then it's not turf pedigree, but Pletcher's Pioneering Spirit. The Grand Dam actually won the Ruffian, Grade 1 Ruffian, Grade 2 Del Cap. Maybe it's just a race where a horse with some ability, albeit not turf pedigree, but ability anyway,
turf
maybe can win this race.
I remember Andy talking about the field this horse faced first time out, and it wasn't being much, our buddy Andy Sterling, and then came here. You know, the American Pharaohs, I think everybody, when the American Pharaohs first started, everybody just leaned turf with him. They're going to give this horse a try on the dirt, obviously. First time this country, last time. I think he's a little interesting in here. Again, back to what you would think is the preferred surface, even though it was not a good bunch, according to Andy, first time. And if Al's Rocket doesn't repeat his performance, unless a horse like Order of Magnitude, now I didn't see a ton of turf pedigree there for Chad Brown.
What makes you think Chad Brown and Klarovich can win on the turf?
That's what I mean. I mean, some of these days.
How'd that horse go off at 8 to 1 to start off the pick six?
That confused a lot of people yesterday too, by the way, because that horse in the pick six is 5 to 1 tops. That was a rare overlay on the win board for those connections. So that kind of threw off the sequence a little bit.
This one, Dan produced Dre Fong, Breeders' Cup Sprint winner, so it's a dirt pedigree there.
Curling out of a butt, tried to run the horse on the turf first time, gets on the turf second time. I'm not going to let this horse beat me because, again, Al's Rocket, as well as he ran last time, he's going to have, you know, he needs to kind of back that race up last time. If he does, he's going to win. Unless one of these others jump up in a big race.
All right, so that's race 2, third race. Going to be on the dirt for the first time this afternoon. 6 furlongs, 25,000 non-winners, a 2 lifetime group. You went to the rail, big time lady.
Yeah, I had a tough time with this race. I was looking to lean on our Carly Hustle and our Working Girl as a nice little safety net. Carly Hustle comes out, and I didn't like our Working Girl enough to stick to my guns. I went to Rudy. He ran this horse on the dirt the first 3 starts of her career, and I thought she ran okay the first 2 times. It was a 2-year-old back in the summer of her 2-year-old year, and then the sloppy track racing, and there was no more turf. It was all dirt. I was no more dirt. It was all turf. But man, who do you really want in here?
So it's a little interesting getting back to dirt with that one, because especially drawn on the inside, because she'd shown some speed on the dirt.
Yeah.
I think the 1A is by far, hands down, the quickest horse. The other speed's outside with Mazel 18, who packed it in late, alone on the lead.
All Working Girl will be in front.
Yeah, and that makes her
not as fast.
That makes her very dangerous in here.
I guess it could.
Not to mention the drop. Open 40 to 25 non-winners at 2.
You know that guy, Wesley Ward, though? That guy's hard to claim off of, my man.
And people say that all the time. People say that so much. Hard to claim off Tom Amis, hard to claim off Mike Maker, and we see these horses win all the time. I'm not as big a proponent as that, especially first off the claim. Especially first off the claim, you're working off of their training a lot of times. You don't have to do much.
This horse hasn't run in 7 weeks. This is not running off of Wesley Ward's training. That I can tell you. Number one, and Mert the Kanamachis do a fantastic job.
I think he's fantastic.
He's great. They're great. The problem is this horse got beat a long way last time.
Off a long layoff.
Off a long layoff. And now you got to take a shortish price with a 10-pound bug rider. Girl looks like she could ride a little bit, but it's still a 10-pound bug rider off a horse that was essentially eased from Wesley Ward that we haven't seen for 7 weeks.
I think had every right. Look, I didn't pick this horse, but I think this is the speed you want in the race. If you're going to pick a horse who's going to be in front, every right to last longer. Second time out, and I think because of the presence of that rider, you're going to get a better price. I ultimately wound up going to Red Pepper Grill, and we're going to take a look at this race. We're going to actually look 2 starts back. This was October the 15th, and Mazel 18 was setting the pace this day and just completely checked out of it late, but on the lead at this point in here. And Red Pepper Grill, the one in this race, puts in a nice late run and starts picking up pieces, and I think has a great opportunity to try and do that again. And I just, in this level of this race, has shown a little bit of consistency.
Yeah. I don't really have a lot to say here. This horse has run well in both starts for Carlos Martin against, the same kind of company, low-profile rider. And we'll see what kind of trip this horse gets. With the presence of our working girl in here, obviously, this horse is supposed to get some pace to run into, right? You mentioned Mazel 18 was drawn outside as well. I don't think Mazel 18 is nearly as fast as our working girl, but yeah, there's supposed to be some pace on in here. So I tried Rudy, and I'm probably taking the worst of it with Rudy. The other horse, Stormy Cat Lady, for Gustavo Rodriguez, big effort off the claim, off of the June to September layoff. Then they tried her in this, they tried her in the allowance race last time. She was just in over her head, and truth be told, she didn't run that poorly. Back in where she belongs, she'll be a decent enough price. I'm not going to let this barn beat me right now in a race like this.
No, it's this early pick 5 could be very lucrative in here. 4th race, mile and a 16th. This is where I think you can kind of trim things down a little bit. It's on the outer turf, allowance optional claiming field in here. We both agree. Dreams of Tomorrow. I thought much the horse to beat in here. We're going to show you the race last time out against Analyze It, who was able to get loose on the front end. And Dreams of Tomorrow was tracking in second. I just think figures-wise, everyone else would have to take a fairly big step forward. City Man, I thought, ran a decent race that could match, but would have to do that again, and it's been kind of a rarity. Dreams of Tomorrow regularly kind of produces these numbers.
Yeah. The consistency is what carried the day for me, right? City Man comes with these races, and City Man's last 2 turf races are very good. Mm-hmm. And he might be able to get the jump on Dreams of Tomorrow in here, which could be a big edge. I don't trust him. I feel like Dreams of Tomorrow just comes with some more consistency. And in here, like you said, if you're looking at this race as part of that early pick 5, you got to try and start to hone in and try and trim this thing down a little bit. I think this horse is a good lean today because he's also got enough tactical speed, Greg, where if City Man's able to get in front and shake away from a horse like Temple, who's also interesting. You have him second, I have him third. A claim back by Maker for the same connections that lost him, Dave Stoudeker and Paradise Farms. He's a little interesting. On paper, it looks like Bodie Cream has some speed. He doesn't really use it as much as he used to. So
I think they're going to be aggressive with Temple, don't you?
They should be. I think City Man is a little faster. I think if City Man, and Manny Franco's riding City Man, by the way, if Manny wants it, I think City Man can have the lead here. Yeah, they're both supposed to, I guess he's supposed to be aggressive with Temple, and it's Kendrick. Kendrick's ridden this horse a couple of times. Like I said, I think Dreams of Tomorrow just has such an advantage because he's a little bit, his figs are a little better, and he can put himself, Jose Lascano can put him wherever he needs to put him.
And you look at who he's faced too. Analyze It. This horse has been, I feel bad for him because he two of the worst beats of my wagering career when Catholic Boy came back on him both times. But he was only beat a half length of the Breeders' Cup Mile. And now he's kind of resurrected himself again, being this kind of front-running horse. But kind of a lot of stops and starts for him. He's been very good.
He missed. He
Tell your
scratched
daddy,
out of that,
Flavius.
He scratched out of that 100,000, and he's not in here. I wonder where he is at this point. But yeah,
couldn't tell you.
I mean, what price would he be in here?
Yeah, and Mose from the rail, I just think his figures
not fast enough.
Need a big step up.
He's interesting. He's a little interesting. Maybe if you want to try and get him in the try, but he's just not fast enough to win this race. I don't think.
Race 5, New York Stallion Series, 7/8 of a mile, and this is a really intriguing race. Can the important one, and we had those big questions with Lady Rocket yesterday, could she get the mile, having never gone beyond 7 furlongs? The important one, can this one get 7 furlongs on dirt? The way he won going 6.5 last time out in the slop makes you think you certainly could, but there's going to be, and this is a look at that win in the, we're looking at this win in the slop.
This is in the Iroquois on Empire Showcase Day. Just keeps on going on the front end. You said it right away. 7/8, right? I think this is the thing on everybody's mind for this heat. 7/8. It was 6.5 last time. It was on a sloppy track.
Was not slowing down late.
It was not slowing down late. And if you watched that last race, you would feel, if you like this horse today, you would feel like the extra 16th of a mile certainly was not going to affect the outcome last time out. But, right? You know, Ned Stark
you got
said
Trini Luck in here,
right?
too,
You got Trini Luck
that wants the lead. Although Rudy Rodriguez said, look, if they want the lead, we're going to let her have it. But if they don't want it, we're going to take it. So we'll see. Trini Luck has to be in front, doesn't?
Drawn inside. I don't know how much of that's a little bit of a chess match on Rudy's part.
Yeah, I agree.
Drawn inside. I don't know how you let. And the important one's a filly who has now proven in 3 consecutive dirt starts that if you leave her alone on the front end, she's going to beat you.
And
I don't know about leaving her alone on the front end.
I actually meant to show the race 2 back from the important one, but they showed, that's fine. They showed the Iroquois. But Buy Hubby Hello Money was runner-up to her, who's in this race as well, the important one. I still didn't think, even though it was a diminishing margin, I still didn't think she was getting to her in that race, to the important one.
No, that's kind of like, that's like the 47-10 football game where the team that's losing by 37 points scores a couple of touchdowns at the end of the game.
I still think she's in front, the important one.
We'll see.
I just think she's quicker.
She's in all likelihood, she's quicker.
But she's going to have to work for it, and is that going to be her undoing?
I'm banking on that.
Okay. Literally.
Pun intended, yes. I like Banksting. You know, Banksting comes back in the Empire Distaff last time. Kind of attends the pace. It was a quick pace. She gets tired the last quarter, the last 1/8 of a mile, every right off of the May break, right? And now she's going to cut back to this 7/8 distance. She's 2 for 2 at 7/8. She debuted in one of these Stallion Series races 2 years ago as a 2-year-old and didn't run that badly. This is her wheelhouse, the 7/8. She's not without speed. She's not as fast as Trini Luck. She's not as fast as the important one. But she is not without speed. And Dylan Davis, Dylan kind of fits this filly. Let the speed go, leave for position, kind of pocket up, and let the chips fall where they may. I'm hoping, and I think, obviously, I picked her, that she's going to get the right setup in here. And I think that with that race under her belt and cutting back from the 8.5 to the 7, she's gonna be in the right spot.
Does it worry you at all? I mean, the figure she kind of needs to win this race. It came on a wet track.
Yep.
Or do you think she's just getting better?
I think she was getting better before she had to go to the bench. And I think that Empire Distaff effort is going to be very useful. I know Sharp Star didn't run particularly well yesterday.
Well, she ran good in that race.
She ran great in that race. But the old Sharp Star kind of showed up last time. And quite frankly, nobody was beating Sharp Star that day in the Empire Distaff. So, yeah, I think this filly's on the right trajectory forward. She made a big jump last time she came back from the big break, first to second start. A big jump. She jumped 15 buyer points. So I'm hoping she has that. If she has that same kind of improvement, she's going to gallop in here. But just with a little improvement, and that's the other thing. The important one, she had that one big fig in Saratoga. Her last 2 races, it's not like Banksting has to make up that much ground on those last 2 races. That 5.5 furlong race in Saratoga, those numbers can get a little goofy sometimes, right? Those 5.5 furlong races are kind of tough to assess sometimes. So I don't know how much quicker, how much faster on fig she is than Banksting. And I think Banksting will be somewhere around twice the price.
It's going to be fun to watch this race early because I think the 6 has to be in front. Trini Luck, though, it looks like the Bullet Drill coming into this as well. They want the lead. They both want the lead. So does that do them in? I think Buy Hubby Hello Money, too, has a shot to maybe pick up pieces here if those 2 wilt.
If they hit up front, that wouldn't surprise me. This race really kind of goes through Trini Luck. because the important one certainly looks faster on paper. But depending on how much pressure Manny Franco and Trini Luck put on her early, kind of decides what kind of setup Bankston gets, and certainly affects Buy Hubby Hello Money, because if they hit, she should be coming late.
Can we pause?
First pick 5's in the books. We come back for the late pick 5.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com.
All right, so we picked things, as Anthony said, back up with a late pick 5, and this race has changed a lot. So definitely pay attention here to the 6th at Aqueduct with the scratches in here. Mile and a 16th over the inner turf. New York bred maiden special weight. The 2 is out. The 5 is out. Also scratched the 11, and with that, the 3 also eligibles draw in, which makes certainly a couple of them very interesting, but Todd Pletcher's number 14, Your Mission, who will have Jorge Vargas, extremely interesting off that debut.
Vargas on the 14, Javier Castellano on the 15. Yeah, you know, I'm going to tell you what. I am not a big fan of the outside draws in the turf races, so I didn't let it affect me that much. I also have an opinion on Nico Stratos. I thought Nico Stratos,
we're going to show that race right now.
Yeah, I thought Nico Stratos ran very, very well in his debut. You'll see him here picking up horses easy to catch. He's in the black and the light blue, and he's gray, so he's a little
Robert
easier to
LaPenta
see.
Silks,
Yeah, you'll see him on the outside right. This day he's in the LaPenta Silks, and he broke from an outside draw. He was in post 8 that day, and he did not, you know, he kind of was, I don't want to say he was out of position early, but he looked like a horse that was going to be a little bit closer, and I thought he was a little out of position early. And you see here, he launched that bid. We picked that replay up at right around the 5/16, so the quarter pole. He launched his bid much earlier than that. And he made a sustained, probably close to a half-mile run. You don't see a lot of young horses doing that. Debuting at a mile and a 16th, you know, around the 1.5 turns over at beautiful Belmont Park. Now he's got the race under his belt. Like I said, I think he's going to be closer today with the experience. A much better draw. Now he's drawn in post 3, going 2 turns here at the Big A. He's a pretty heavy lean for me today.
Yeah, we agree. Jonathan Thomas, too, is so
today.
strong.
Yes.
Second time out, 32%. Dam won her second start of her career that was on grass as well. A lot to like. And the horse who won that race wound up hitting the board, ran 3rd in the Central Park. I agree with you. But this, first of all, the Todd Pletcher first time with a 9 frontline dancer, I think is interesting. The Dam produced a multiple stakes place filly on the grass. The Grand Dam was a multiple graded stakes winner on the turf. That's frontline dancer, the 9. But then the 14, Your Mission, start number 2, and had trouble. Excuse me.
Wasn't that race just a little slow?
It was.
And now she's stuck in post 11. I don't know, pair of blinkers. I just feel like, you know, she's stuck all the way out there. Blinkers, a rider that doesn't really do much work for the barn, but with a lot of guys out of town now, with the Cigar Mile in the rear view. I get all of it. I don't like I really don't like the draw, and I don't like that race this horse comes out of, man. That was a slow race. That was my problem with this. And this horse is going to take a lot of money because they're going to see Pletcher second time, the blinkers, draws in. I think this horse is going to take some money. Like I said, I have a little tunnel vision here because I really like Nico Stratos today. He's probably the second horse I like the most on the card, but I think he's going to be under 2-1.
Okay.
But well, maybe it's different now with the 2 horses drawing in off the age, the 2 outside horses drawing in. But again, we say that drawing in outside 11 and 12.
Yeah. I say this a lot. Look, it's never easy to win going long first time out, but the first start for most horses is kind of a mulligan, unless they're have a ton of ability.
I don't disagree with that.
Pletcher, Barn, second time out with a horse who showed that kind of run with trouble. That horse is going to improve.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, tough outside post, no question. And Javier Castellano on Spetro, as you said, that horse probably going to try and control from outside.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough ask to get around from the 12 hole. Good luck. Good, and if he doesn't, if he does, my hat's off to him. But that's a little bit of a tough ask. And remember, all of this is based on Nico Stratos not improving off of his first race. Nico Stratos improves off his first race. They can improve as much as they want. He's gonna win here. He takes a step forward, and they take a step forward. He's faster than them right now. He'll beat these horses today, and he has the absolute best of it at the draw.
Okay. I like him too. I don't like him as much as you do, I think. I think some others could improve and give him a run for his money. We'll see.
These are the kind of races where the draw, to me, really comes into play because this horse is just drawn so much better than the two horses.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, especially on the inner turf, no question. 7th race, 6.5 furlongs, New York bred, maiden special weight. And actually, in this one, what did you? Yeah, I love this horse today. We're going to show you Agility's debut for Jorge Abreu. Manny Franco in this spot had to battle on the front end with a couple of horses early on, and that's why I'm going to pick it up here from the start with Agility, or I'm sorry, with the Institute, and with Close and AJ early on. 3 horses kind of dueling up front. Close and AJ eventually backs out of it. He can't handle the heat. So then it's Agility and the Institute kind of neck and neck. And this horse hangs around till very, very late in the race, and he barely misses getting second in this race.
Big effort going 7/8 first time out, under pressure, under the gun, every single step of the way. Like you said, Greg, every right, complete license to just get tired late. And right here, you're still saying to yourself, you bet this horse, man, he took a little half a peek back.
Says goodbye to the Institute here.
This horse is going to get the candy first time out. Every right to get tired late. He ran big first time out. The biggest issue with this horse is this Jorge Abreu barn right now is finding it has lost its way to the winner's circle. But with that said, I thought this horse ran a bang-up race in his debut and just makes a whole lot of sense.
And look at it, hangs on nearly right in the mix.
He doesn't even come to a real stop. He just kind of, he stays on. He gets some horses picking him up late. Yeah, I think he's got a big chance. I couldn't believe his morning line. That's a big price on the morning. I think he'll be close.
What do you think with you went second with Eminency here, first time out for Rudy Rodriguez?
I didn't love making boss moves. The number 3 debuted for the tag, came back and ran okay in that race last time. But I mean, picked up some horses late. I thought that if I heard Rudy's horse could run a little bit, they're still waiting for a rider. Somebody will ride him, but they're just waiting for a rider.
Be a big weight break if not.
So yeah, exactly. So I threw him in the mix, but this is another race where I really, if the Abreu barn was winning at its usual 18 to 20%, this would be another real heavy lean for me. It's just very hard to trust the barn right now.
Yeah, and we should just go back quickly to Boss Making Moves. That's a horse who did get second in that race with Agility in that spot. But again, Agility ran a much better race.
I couldn't agree with you more. This was a little trouble too at the start and lost position early, clipped heels. This horse made up ground and passed horses in both of his starts, one for a tag, one for the special weight last time. So, yeah, I mean, I no real knock against him. Just I thought that Agility ran a better race in his debut, and I got a little push on Eminency.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind. And Steve Asmussen, too, with a first-timer by Connect, who was quite expensive. Is going to break from the rail.
Paid a lot of money for this horse. A lot of money for this horse. Drawn inside. We'll see what kind of speed this horse has out of an unraced dam. A Rock Art 10 mare. He just passed away, Rock Art 10. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Mike Maker brings in Pineapple Man from Kentucky. One breeze over the training track over at Belmont Park. This horse was working well down in Kentucky, according to the work tab. A Gormley, New York bred son of Gormley. We'll see.
All right, let's move on to race 8. New York bred, first allowance condition. This at 6 furlongs. Jonathan Thomas again.
You too? Yeah.
We agree with War Terminator, and we need War Terminator to find that form from back in May. We're going to look at that race. This was the second start of his career, won his debut, son of War Dancer. Wide trip here, and this horse just shows grit and determination to just miss.
I'm going to tell you something, Greg. This is a little bit of a tricky pick. Because you and I don't, you know what, I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I picked this horse based on his 2 races that came 16 days apart in the spring, here and at Belmont. He ran so poorly last time out.
Yeah, he's a no-show.
That there's a chance, and Andy and I say this a lot, and people think we're idiots for saying it. Because based on 2 starts, how can you say a horse can't run anymore? Well, let me tell you something. As bad as this horse ran last time, This horse ran bad last time. This horse did not lift a hoof last time.
Yeah, and for a horse who showed up in his debut.
I have to think something did not go right. What that is, I don't know. But I know he was 5-2, and he didn't run from me to you. So I got to give him one more chance at now what's going to be 4-1, 9-2. Right, they're going to bet Panster. I would imagine City Mischief's going to take some money. I'm going to give him one more chance, but I'll be honest with you. Part of the reason I'm giving him one more chance is I don't really want Panster on the cutback. He's shown that he's a little bit better with some more ground.
I agree.
I don't know what we're going to get out of City Mischief, right? That Fairgrounds, I don't like those Fairgrounds 5.5 furlong races. I don't know. He had
trouble in
Yeah, he did. And I get running them the 7/8 to tighten him up for the 6 furlong turf race back and now Chris Engelhardt has him for the first time. I get all of it. But I don't trust either of them. It's not that I don't trust War Terminator, but I think he has the races that if he can run back to those races in the spring, he's going to be tough. So I'm hoping last time something just went amiss.
And I'll just say, too, we both, I feel like I probably should not have done this, but I kind of ignored him. But I think he is a player in here. Outside Post Veterans Beach.
Yeah,
he's got races that put him in the mix, moves now to Chad Summers. Again, as you said, tough to take off some of the best in the game. This one coming claimed off of Christophe Clement.
And he proved that the best hop was a drop last time. He found his friends last time because this horse was not doing a lot of running prior to that drop for the tag. I thought Volkart for Mark Hennig was a little bit interesting in here. He would need some pace, but he's come up with some efforts. He's got a little bit of an in-out pattern going on. Today's supposed to be an in day if you buy into that, and he's 12-1 on the morning line, so I might try to get him in the gimmicks.
How are we doing time-wise?
We should probably hustle. I got to get upstairs.
You're on in a few minutes.
That could take 10 minutes anyway.
Race 9, mile and 16th, inner turf, 30 non-winners of 2 in this spot. And talk your 2 first here, Rally Squirrel.
Well, I mean, it's one of the best names in racing. I mean, Rally Squirrel. Everybody should have a Rally Squirrel. I wish I had a Rally Squirrel on my shoulder right now. This horse ran really well. I thought he ran well in both of his starts. Obviously showed a ton more speed last time off the break, drawn inside here at Aqueduct, first time Lasix. He's not going to get in front of Just in Time for Wine. You wouldn't imagine he's going to get in front of Just in Time for Wine, but he had plenty of, he passed plenty of horses in his debut. I mean, how many times are we going to go back to Brazilian Air? Sid Finch, how many times are we going to try these horses? I know this horse just broke his maiden.
Let's watch the Sid Finch race. This was back on November 18th. I actually really like this race. I made him my top pick. He was not comfortable in this race at all. He was rank early on, throwing his head around. He's 5 wide around the turn, and then he just misses by a nose. And he edges out Caribbean Gold, who, if he had got into this race for Mike Maker, he would have been one of the favorites in the race. Yeah, not the favorite, but he would maybe second or third choice.
No question about it. No question about it.
So I actually do like this effort.
Okay. That's fine. And listen,
he's got to settle. Eric Cancel's got to be able to get him to relax.
I got him second. I don't like picking horses that are 1 for 23 first or second. I have him second. His last 2 races make him a major player in here. But again, he's another horse. He's got to deal with that outside draw. And I know with him and his late run, people say, he's going to come from out the back, and it doesn't really matter as much. You don't think these horses losing this ground? These deep closers losing this ground, right? This horse came from a good ways back. It hurts. It hurts them. Give me the horses that are going to be closer to the drawn inside. So I know I don't like betting horses back off the maiden win, but Tom Morley's doing the right thing in here. You're supposed to, when you break your maiden for a tag, you're supposed to cut in half. There is no half here. We don't have 22 life. He ran this horse for the bottom maiden on turf. He's running this horse for the bottom in the 2 life. This is exactly what you're supposed to do. This is the binder.
I'm just concerned because Tackle's going to be right there with him on the front end.
No, listen, this horse can't see the lead today. No shot this horse sees the lead today. But he made up enough ground and passed enough horses in his debut where it doesn't worry me as much.
Okay. Let's get to the last. You have a big opinion here. Race 10.
Apparently you do too.
7 Ace New York Stallion Series. I think
it is nowhere near my opinion, my friend.
Let's show you the My Boy Tate race. This was October 4th, Parks, 2 starts back, and I wanted to show this race because it was at 7 Ace, and this was where he kind of got back into his dominant form that I think makes him just way too tough for anyone to handle this afternoon.
Okay.
He was dominant against this group, and you look he's put together now back-to-back wins, both Parks and Finger Lakes. Before that, wonder where Craig would be 3-5 in this race. That's a serious racehorse. His numbers, figures-wise, that I look at on Thoroughgraph, it's not even close to the rest of this group here.
Let's go back.
Everyone's got to take a massive step up to deal with it.
Let's just go back for a second. Parks and Finger Lakes. And this isn't the first time this horse has ran out of town to refine his form. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it won't work. Not.
Still, the figure you run is the figure you run.
Listen, he still had to go out of town to find his form.
I don't think he lost his form. He was second in the John Morrissey to Foolish Ghost.
Okay.
That race was loaded.
See,
with talent.
I thought the Tail of the Cat and the Morrissey were two complete suck-up efforts. I might be wrong.
Wonder where Craig is a serious sprinter.
I might be wrong. Listen, I'm not saying I have to be right here.
You don't think that horse would tower over this group?
Well, yeah. He's also open company, and he's running against state breds. He had to go out of town to find his form. This horse may make me look like a fool today. It won't be the first time. It will not be the last. I can guarantee that. But he's going to beat me today.
Okay. So talk to us with the 12 here.
Yeah, you know, I've been a fan of this horse, and this horse has changed hands. Jeremiah Englehart, Chad Brown, now Steve Asmussen has him. Steve's got to run this horse 3 times. He's run him on 2 wet tracks, which this horse has shown in the past. This horse is not a fan of wet tracks, okay? You can tell me some horses it's inconsequential. This horse does not prefer wet tracks. This horse has won fast track race, going a flat mile around 1 turn at Laurel, against horses like Cordmaker and Fat Man. You want to talk about...
So he had to go out of town to find his form.
Hold on a second. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But this is also a horse that, when he's running the Stallion Series races, has crushed what he's faced, okay? As a 3-year-old, he was 3rd to Tribeca and Big Engine when they were both in good form. And then they came back. He was first off the layoff, first time for the new barn. He caught a muddy track, right? He caught a sloppy track. I want this horse to run back to that Polynesian. He runs back to that Polynesian, my boy Tate could go to Timbuktu to find his form, and he's going to put a whooping on him today.
Okay, I completely disagree with that.
This horse is raced 2 back.
He might win,
this
but
horse
that
is raced
comment
let me tell
is
you,
way over the line.
If this horse is raced 2 back, if you wouldn't rather have this horse at twice the price, if I told you this horse was going to run his race 2 back, or my boy Tate was going to run any one of his last 4 races, what race do you want?
I think you can make the argument he's probably a little better. It showed that was the best race of his life and it was going a mile.
Yeah, I
so
think,
we'll see.
I think the 7/8 miles right in his wheelhouse. I think this horse, I like this horse a lot.
I think he's a contender
today.
for sure, but it's not like he's in another league if he finds that race 2 back.
I'll tell you what, I think
Tate.
he has. If he runs that race 2 back, that was a big race 2 back. He beat a couple of really, really good seasoned older horses. And if he's catching my boy Tate at the end of his 7-year-old year, who had to go to Finger Lakes and Parks, you know, our last, but I've seen enough of these horses. Give me the fresh blood.
Okay, let's talk real quickly before we wrap it up here too. Rinaldi getting on dirt for the first time. This is going to be fun to watch. I hope he can do it, but Jimmy Bond says a lot of his riders have come back to him and said this horse needs to be on the dirt. And apparently he's worked really well on dirt in the morning, and when he crosses the wire, he keeps on going. When a lot of turf horses kind of just throw in the towel, it works in the morning on dirt.
This is the 4th time I've done this after looking at this race. He's supposed to be in front in here, and that makes him dangerous. He's supposed to be in front in here, and you know these horses that get loose, they have the other speed chasing them. He would not. It would not. I put him 4th because what's taken so long to get him to the dirt, but he wouldn't surprise me.
Going to be a fun card. Good luck to everybody. You got a show to do. You want me to just finish this up and you can get out of here?
No, it's okay.
You can play it all, of course, with NYRA Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. $200 deposit match sign-up bonus. Promo code to use for new members. Bonus $200. Download the app again or go to NYRABets.com. Good luck, everybody. Going to be a fun card on this Sunday afternoon here. And again, take advantage of this $15 bonus today. Play with NYRA Bets 50. You bet at Aqueduct and at Los Alamitos. You'll get that $15 bonus whether you win or lose. You do have to opt in. Promo details at NYRABets.com. America's Day at the Races starting with this guy in about 12 minutes on FS2. Have a good show, and I'll join you in a little bit.
All right, Johnny I up next with a reprise of the scratches and changes. We'll see you in a little bit.
Hello, racing fans, and once again, welcome to Aqueduct. Here at the Big A, the main track is fast and the turf courses are firm. Portable rail up at 36 feet on the outer turf and at 27 feet on the inner. In today's first race, scratch the also eligibles. 11 Loves Misery through the 16 Fancy Feline. Scratch 11 through 16. In the second race, a rider change on the 8 Pioneering Spirit to Jalon Samuel. Jalon Samuel rides number 8 Pioneering Spirit. In today's third race, scratch the 1 Carly Hustle, part of an entry. Scratch number 1. And note that number 4 Lot of Honey. She wore blinkers in her last start, and she's wearing blinkers today. In the fourth race, jockey change on the 5 City Man to Manny Franco. Manny Franco is on the 5. In race 5, the Staten Island division of the New York Stallion Series, there are no changes. Sixth race, scratch 2 Uncle Waterflow. Number 3 is 1 pound over. Also scratch the 5 Looking Grand and the 11 Ortis. Scratch 2, 5, and 11. And 2 jockey changes. Number 14, Your Mission, will be ridden by Jorge Vargas Jr. Vargas Jr. on the 14. And number 15, Spetro, will be ridden by Javier Castellano. Castellano is on the 15. In today's 7th race, a jockey change on number 8, Eminency, to Raul Mena. Raul Mena is on the 8. Scratch number 13, Clash AJ. Scratch number 13 out of race 7. In today's 8th race, number 2, Panster, will be ridden by Javier Castellano. Castellano is on the 2. Number 9 is 2 pounds over. And scratch the also eligibles 11 Giramonte through the 15 Tapazirans. Scratch 11 through 15. In the 9th race today, scratch the also eligibles 13, 14, and 15. Scratch 13 Caribbean Gold, 14 Good Culture, and the 15 Jerusalem Gates. Today's 10th race is the Thunder Rumble division of the New York Stallion Series. And in the 10th race, scratch number 3, Straight Skinny. Scratch the 3. Jockey change on number 7, Wild Banker, to Andre Worry. Andre Worry rides number 7, Wild Banker. Main track fast, turf courses are firm. The Sunday opener at Aqueduct in 26 minutes at 11:50.
I think when people watch it on TV, they think that it's just a rich man's sport and there's nothing else involved. But when people actually come into this side of the sport and they see, and it puts a lot of dollars back into the industry in New York, and we need to protect that.
Working here, it's given me a life and a sense of security for not only myself financially, but also to provide for my family. Ideally, I would love to have my career here.
I'm a single mom. I was able to raise my son and put him through college, and something I'm very proud of, and I couldn't do it without New York racing.
In the backstretch, there is a community that surrounds the racetrack. People that work day in, day out, loving what they are doing.
I mean, there's electricians, there's plumbers, there's carpenters. There's all these men and women who do jobs every day.
One horse requires a hot walker, a groomer, a person who's going to walk them to the races, the people who take care of them every day. And we need all these people to take care of the horses and to continue moving forward in New York racing.
This job has given me not only hope for tomorrow, but has made so many of my wishes come true.
We're really real people back here working our butts off to make this happen. It's a commitment. There's a lot of people back here that depend on this place.
I had the opportunity to go back to school thanks to the jobs provided for us here.
Our industry is vital within this state.
We are New York racing.
We are New York horse racing.
Jobs.
Opportunity.
Community.
We are New York racing.
We are New York horse racing.
We are New York racing.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Ladies and gentlemen, in today's 7th race, there's a rider change on number 11, Salty Air, to Andre Worry. Andre Worry rides number 11, Salty Air, in race 7. And correcting a previous announcement in the 10th race, number 7, Wild Banker, that is still a TBA on the jockey. Rider change to be announced in race 10 for number 7, Wild Banker.
Good afternoon and welcome to America's Day at the Races as we are live here in South Ozone Park, Queens from the Big A as we have a duo, a Stallion Series stakes coming for you. The important one looks for her 4th win in a row. She's won her last 3 by a combined nearly 14 lengths. Is my boy Tate. He loves it here at the Big A. 7 of his 11 lifetime wins have come here at this oval. He'll be looking for his 3rd straight, and the Thunder Rumble Stakes is yesterday a huge day for the Todd Pletcher barn as American Revolution, a 3-year-old New York bred, gets his first Grade 1 against Open Company. More on that and more here on America's Day at the Races. We are brought to you by America's Best Racing. The love of the race. Check out americasbestracing.net today. And once again, we have a beautiful day as we approach winter here at the Big A. We are fast and firm on the turf today, and I am pleased to be next to this man right here, Anthony Stabile. Huge day for you yesterday. We had that triple pick 6 carryover, and you hit it, my friend. Well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we had a good time yesterday here. The Equestrius, where we're sitting today, was packed. Had a lot of fans here yesterday, and always good to have the Big A full. Cigar Mile Day, one of the funnest days of the year.
It is.
Here at Aqueduct, and a great day of racing. We had a lot of exciting finishes yesterday here.
A lot of drama in the stewards booth.
Yes, a lot of drama yesterday.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but let's talk about the future as we're always looking to it. But today's races on tap include those 2 Stallion Series. It's the Staten Island division and then the Thunder Rumble coming up to cap off racing here at the Big A. But we also have racing action from Oaklawn Park, races 1 through 9 as Mitch, there we go, Mitch getting it right, the important one. She is heading into this Staten Island division. Anthony, she's riding a 3-race win streak into here. Last time out, we saw her capture New York bred Stakes Company in the Iroquois. I always want to call it the Bowery. That's the one in the spring. But this was contested over a sloppy racetrack, but she blew this field away. Does she get the same kind of trip because there's some other speed in here? Is she good enough as well? Yeah, and she's got to go an extra 16th of a mile. It certainly wouldn't have made a difference last time, you wouldn't think. See how much the wet track helped, see how much being able to control on the front end. She's got a filly to her inside today in Trini Luck, who could have a say in things early on. We'll see how much pressure she puts on the important one. But riding that 3-race win streak, like you said, Maggie, over 13 lengths combined in her last 3 starts, including the Iroquois. She's won at Belmont, she's won at Saratoga, she's won in the slop at Belmont Park. We'll see how she handles things at the Big A. She already has a win in the 3rd from 2 starts here on the main track at Aqueduct. Well, you did mention Trini Luck. She'll be turning back in distance as well. She'll go out for Rudy Rodriguez, installed at 5-2 on the morning line. She tried her hand at the Empire Distaff, was no match for Sharp Star in what was a pace that came apart a bit. But Bank Sting, she also participated in that Empire Distaff. I thought it was a bit of a ambitious spot coming off of that long layoff to go a mile and a 16th with the horse that I've always thought wanted less ground. The important ones looking for 4 in a row. This is back on Memorial Day at beautiful Belmont Park in the critical eye. Bank Sting getting her 4th win in a row, and this comes off of a 13-month. Those 4 wins came off of a 13-month layoff. She went to the bench after this race, missed Saratoga, came back for the Empire Distaff over that sloppy track. She went a mile and a 16th last time, Maggie. She probably doesn't want to go that far. She cuts back to the 7/8. This should be her wheelhouse. I'm a fan of this filly. I think she gets a good setup today, and I think she's the one, the important one, has to be afraid of to keep that win streak intact this afternoon. Yeah, and we've seen Bank Sting prove that she can win from off the pace a bit. So yeah. I think that's a feather in her cap, given the projected speed we may see. Not that it ever necessarily materializes out on the racetrack, but a pretty full field lined up. 11 will go postward, including 2 full brothers in Chowda and Lobster. They are long shots in here, but let's take a look at my boy Tate. Anthony, he's one that has done some of his best running over here at the Big A, and when he's in against New York bred company, he's good. But he's gone out of town, too, to capture his last 2, albeit last time at Finger Lakes against New York breds, too. Here's his last race. Down to Parks and then up to Finger Lakes within a week of each other. Back in early October, here he is getting it done in the Reed Memorial. Look, I don't love when horses go out of town to refine their form.
And I know this horse was okay in Saratoga and at Belmont Park, but I feel like this horse has kind of had to go out of town to find his form. We'll see what he brings to the table today. You mentioned it, Mags. He loves it here at Aqueduct. He's won more than half of his 13 starts here at the Big A. That was also a little bit, a longer time ago. We got to go back in and not necessarily the Wayback Machine, but it's been a little different for him lately. And I do wonder at a short price if he's a little vulnerable today in that Thunder Rumble division later on to wrap the day.
He has won this race before. Last year, though, he was just narrowly defeated by Funny Guy, as he'll look to regain the crown here in the Thunder Rumble New York Stallion Series Stakes. As always, if you want to play today's races, make sure you do so with your NYRA Bets account. We are offering that $200 deposit match bonus when you use promo code bonus200. Check out nyrabets.com or download the app today. Here is race number 1 to kick things off here at the Big A. It is a maiden 44, the State Breds, going the 6 furlongs on the turf. And the 8 in here, Live in 5. I know a horse that you're interested in, but a possible favorite that's trying something new for the first time.
Yeah, I was interested in this horse. I don't know how interested I am at 8-5, to be honest with you, Maggie. I wanted a little bit of a different look in here. I really wasn't in love with any of the horses that have already tried the turf. So I wanted a horse who you would think by Cairo Prince is going to have a little bit of an affinity for the lawn. Last 2 times off the claim, Robbie Falcone took this horse back in July at Saratoga. Tried to get this horse on the turf in her last 2 starts, rained off both times, ran well enough in her first 2 dirt starts to keep trying her on the main track. And then last time, things kind of fell apart a little bit. Now she gets on what you would think is her intended surface, since Robbie tried to run her on the turf not once but twice.
If you want to play today's races, you can do so with a showdown, a free-to-enter handicapping contest. Play against your friends and fellow fans when you check out NYRA.com/showdown to get things started and watch your name climb the leaderboard to earn real prizes. We will have more on this race coming up, as well as recapping all of the action from yesterday in American Revolution. He proved his dominance on the racetrack in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile. Stay tuned. You're watching America's Day at the Races.
DeMarshalier offers breeders a rare opportunity as the only son of emerging sire of sires, Dubois, standing in Kentucky. His picture-perfect pedigree includes 10 Grade 1 winners under the first 3 dams. Dubois and his sons and grandsons at stud have established stars on both turf and dirt. Now his first foals have arrived. DeMarshalier, standing at Claiborne Farm.